Hi, it's Kristen, and this is my first book haul of 2025. These books are from the first quarter of the year, so they're all the books I got in January, February, and March of 2025. So some of these I bought when I was just like out and about and I saw them, and a couple are books that I pre-ordered last year that then came out this year. So I'll just go like roughly in order of when I got them. So first up we have The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling. I got this one from The Works. I saw it there. It was only £3, so I was like, gotta pick it up. This is the third book in the oh gosh, I don't even know what the series is called. It's the X Hex is the first book and the Kiss Curse is the second book, and this is the third book, and it follows like the Penhallow brothers, and this one is about Bowen Penhallow and Tamsin Bly, who isn't a witch but has somehow like got into the world and the community, and they both attend this wedding, and there is a mishap that transports them back to the 50s. So yeah, picked this up. I think I'm gonna wait to read it because I believe it's set like Christmas time, based on this little tagline saying mistletoe moment and the trees having snow on them. So potentially this could be a cute one to read towards the end of the year. But yes, I liked the X Hex. I liked the Kiss Curse even more. But yeah, they're just like fun, cute, witchy rom-coms, which is what I'm about. So I picked that up. Then in a charity shop, I picked up Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This I've heard a lot about. I always thought, oh, should I pick that up? Should I not? Not fully convinced I wanted to buy it because I'd heard like mixed things. But then I thought, why not, when I saw it in the charity shop for like £1. This is about Alex Stern, who is going to Yale, and she is the sole survivor of a horrific unsolved crime. She's hoping for a fresh start, but then there's some sort of secret society at Yale that she gets involved in, and someone shows up dead on campus, and so it's like dark academia vibes, murder mystery, or like death mystery. I've heard it's intense in parts, but I'm intrigued enough to pick it up. So yeah, that was a good charity shop find. Then we have one of my pre-orders, which was The King's Witches by Kate Foster. This is set in Edinburgh in the 1500s, and Princess Anna of Denmark is to wed King James VI of Scotland, but first she must pass a trial period, 1 year of marriage, to prove herself worthy. Under the watchful eye of her loyal lady-in-waiting Kirsten, Anna resolves to be the perfect royal bride until she meets Lord Henry. Meanwhile, young housemaid Jura has recently fled to the capital, seeking protection and anonymity, but her newfound safety is soon threatened when she is caught up in the witchcraft mania that has gripped the country and its new queen. This intrigued me because I love a historical witchy book. I went to Edinburgh for the first time last year and I loved Edinburgh, so reading an Edinburgh setting seems fun, even if it is the 1500s. But yes, and I'd heard of this one, I think Jean from Jean Bookish Thoughts or Jean's Thoughts talked about it on her channel, and it sounded intriguing, so I picked it up. Next we have another find from The Works, and that is Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. Again, it was only £3.50, so I felt like I had to pick it up. This is the third book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. The first one's Done and Dusted, which I read and enjoyed. Their second book is Swift and Saddled, which I have but I haven't read yet. But this one is about the oldest brother in the family, Gus, and Teddy, who is the main character from book one, her best friend. And they had like a really interesting dynamic in book one in the scenes where you like briefly see them interact. They don't really like each other, but they have like great like needling banter. So when I found out book three was about them, I was very excited and couldn't wait for this one to come out and for me to get my hands on it. So I'm very excited to own this one because it's just like a fun little sort of cowboy romance. Then we have A Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. So it's about a group of people, I believe, who go on a ship traveling, and then someone on the ship is murdered, and so then everyone on the ship is a suspect. And so I love like a murder mystery, and I love when it's in a confined setting where like people can't leave, you've only got a certain number of suspects who it could be, everyone's a suspect. That sounds really fun. And it says, with the body count rising, so potentially more deaths, can our main character unmask the killer before they reach the shore? Just sounds really fun. Really intrigued by this one. Heard a bookseller talk about it and thought it sounded great. So excited to get to that one. Then we have one that my sister was unhauling, but I thought I'd hold on to, and that is Girl A by Abigail Dean. This is about a girl, Lexi Grace, but they call me Girl A. I grew up with my family on the moors. I escaped when I was 15. Now something is pulling me back. I don't know a ton about this one, but I do just like to have thrillers that sound interesting, that I can just like go to when I want something quick or like intense, but that I feel like I can get through fairly swiftly, that I don't necessarily have to, I don't know, think about too much other than just getting swept up in the mystery, but I don't need to focus on like a ton of world building or anything. So yeah, I really don't know a ton about this one, but I like to have thrillers on hand that I can go to when I'm in a thrillery crime mood, which is every now and then. I quite like reading crimes and mysteries and thrillers when I don't feel very well, when I'm like ill, because I feel like I can focus on them enough, but I don't need to be like too heavily mentally in it. Does that make sense? I don't know. That's how I feel. Anyway, so yes, I got this off my sister, and I think she got it off a friend who was getting rid of it. So it's also one that I feel like if I love it, that's great. And if I don't feel bad about getting rid of it. And there's something satisfying about finally getting a book off your TBR and then like unhauling it so it's not taking up shelf space. But yeah, this one don't know a ton about, but interested to get to it. Next up, we have a book I'm really excited about. I saw it in Sainsbury's for like £5.50. I always check Sainsbury's book section or just like supermarket book sections because they can have some great like newer releases, and that's Funny Story by Emily Henry. I love Emily Henry. I really enjoyed Beach Read when I read it years ago. I liked You and Me on Vacation, but it's probably my least favourite Emily Henry. And then last year I read Book Lovers, and I loved Book Lovers, really loved Book Lovers. I also have Happy Place, but I've not yet got around to reading that. And then I picked up Funny Story when I saw it a few weeks ago. This one sounds really great to me, and like I'll potentially like it more than Happy Place. Happy Place also sounds interesting, but that's like they've broken up, they're pretending to be together still, second chance, I guess, romance, but kind of toxic, whereas this one sounds great. So this is about a woman who is in a relationship with this guy, and then this other guy who's in a relationship with this woman, and their partners are best friends, and they're like, think they're in good places with their relationships, but then their partners, who are best friends, admit that they actually love each other and how like they should have always been together, and decide to break up with their respective partners and get together. So our main character Daphne is then like, what do I do? My long-term boyfriend has left me for his childhood best friend. What am I doing with my life? She ends up rooming with the boyfriend of Petra, the childhood best friend, because they both are now in like awkward places where they need to, you know, live together to be able to afford rent, etc., I believe. But then Daphne and Miles, who is the boyfriend that was broken up with, now that they're living together, they decide to pretend that they are together to show that like they don't care, they've moved on, they're in a great place too, and I'm sure hijinks ensue. I've heard loads of people compare Miles, the main guy in this, to Nick from New Girl, and I love Nick from New Girl. So that intrigued me. The whole premise of like fake dating, I love a bit of fake dating, and like having to room with someone you don't really know but that you can like relate to because you're in the same like circumstances, all sounds great to me. Love Emily Henry. I just think this would be such a fun read, and yeah, can't wait to get into it. Then in Sainsbury's on that same day, I saw The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I love Holly Jackson. She writes great young adult mystery thrillers. The Good Girls Guide to Murder series, one of my favourite like series in general. It like draws you in, it has a great mystery, has great plot points. She's great at like sprinkling in clues that like come into play later, and everything's ties together really well. I read Five Survive by Holly Jackson last year. I actually did a reading in real time because it takes place just over one night, and so I read it over that one night sort of time frame it takes place in, and I liked it, didn't love it. I think the way I read it added to my enjoyment of it. But this one is about 18-year-old Belle, who has always lived with this knowledge that when she was younger her mum disappeared, and now they're making a true crime documentary about this disappearance within the Price family, and then the mum shows up again just out of the blue, and so I guess it's unpacking the mystery of what happened and Belle having to like deal with this and coming to terms with it. I'm excited to read this one. I've heard quite mixed things, but I like the way that Holly Jackson writes in general. I think she has like snappy, fast-paced energy to her books, so I figure even if I don't love it as much as I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, like it should be a fun, quick mystery read. But yeah, so I'm excited to get to this one. That was another good £5.50 book from Sainsbury's. And then last of all, we have another pre-order, and this one is called Blood on Her Tongue. This one is actually a bit of a like impulse buy. Most of the pre-orders I bought were ones that I knew were coming out and I was just like waiting for the paperback, but I knew that I wanted to get them as soon as they came out. Whereas this one, I didn't really know anything about it. I was just pulled in by the cover, which is stunning. Saw it on the website and was like, what? That's so pretty. What is that about? And the title sounded so interesting. And then I read the synopsis and I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's going to be one of my pre-orders. So this is set in the Netherlands in 1887. It says, Lucy's twin sister Sarah is unwell. She refuses to eat, mumbles nonsensically, and is increasingly obsessed with the centuries-old corpse recently discovered on her husband's grand estate. The doctor has diagnosed her with temporary insanity caused by a fever of the brain. To protect her twin from a terrible fate in a lunatic asylum, Lucy must unravel the mystery surrounding her sister's condition, but it's clear her twin is hiding something. Then again, Lucy is harbouring secrets of her own too. Then the worst happens. Sarah's behaviour takes a turn for the strange. She becomes angry and hungry. Lucy soon comes to suspect that something is trying to possess her beloved sister. Or is it madness? As Sarah changes before her very eyes, Lucy must reckon with the dark, monstrous truth or risk losing her forever. This sounded so intriguing. I love sister narratives, something I really enjoy or like get really swept up in, find very intense in books. And the like horror creepy element of this also sounds great. So yeah, that was one where it was a bit of an impulse buy, but I'm so excited to get to it. I also have something that's not a book, but it's like bookish. So in March, my parents went away on holiday and they stayed in a place just outside of Hay-on-Wye. Hay-on-Wye is like the bookshop town in the UK. It's like the town in the UK that has the most bookshops in it, like per square foot or whatever. It's just full of bookshops. It's where they have like a big literary festival every year. They didn't go during the literary festival, they just went a little while before that and visited some of the bookshops. And there's a bookshop there that the name of really like makes me happy. So the town is called Hay-on-Wye, and there is a LGBTQIA+ bookshop which is called a Gay-on-Wye, and I just think that's so funny. It just really tickles me. So they visited that bookshop and picked up a little bookmark, got me a little bookmark, which great, independent LGBTQ+ bookshop, we love to see it. And they also picked me up a little mug. So one side just says Gay-on-Wye, Hay-on-Wye Town of Books, and the other side has like a little cartoon of the shop front in like the rainbow flag, and I just love it. I think it's so cute. I need to visit there myself at some point so I can say I have my Gay-on-Wye mug and I've been to Gay-on-Wye. But yeah, I just think so cute, so happy with that. Lovely little bookish gift and another bookmark to go in my collection. So yeah, that was just a lovely little extra bookish thing I have this month. And that's it. I have, gosh, how many books are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. Very excited to get to all of these. I'm starting the year off with, I mean, it's quite a few books, but it could be worse. And they're all books I'm really interested to get to sooner rather than later, so I'm very happy with that. Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments below. Don't spoil them, just, you know, if you enjoyed them, share your enjoyment. And I will see you soon with another video. Bye.